Kevin Millar, MLB network analyst, co-host of Intentional Talk, and you can see him with Ryan Dempster. That'll be every day at 5 Eastern during the World Series, and he, of course, won the World Series championship with the Red Sox back in '04. Kevin, great to talk to you again. Looking at this matchup when the World Series started, I thought the Yankee starting pitching was going to be a big advantage. That has not been the case. Why do you think that is? Do you agree?
Yeah, it's funny. You could have flipped a coin. I don't think the Yankees had the advantage going in. I think everybody was so excited to see the series and see who's going to like the layoff or whatever. The problem is you need the 6, 7, 8, 9 guys. It's like every postseason to step up. And you have to agree that Tommy Edman and Andrew Freeman's pickup of that young man has really been a big difference for this organization, aside from Freddie Freeman just being Freddie Freeman.
John Shambi, who's calling the game for ESPN Radio, said yesterday, if you take out the top 3 hitters for the Yankees and top 3 for the Dodgers, that's the difference. That's the depth that you're talking about, that they can make up for these other players if they're not playing well. The Yankee lineup can't do that. How do you get Aaron Judge going?
It's not a matter of how you get it. It's a hard game. He's struggling at the wrong time, Danny. I mean, that's the problem, right? It's like me and you going to play in Augusta. We're all excited, and then your golf game sucks that day. You're like, can it suck at the home course with my buddies? He's in a spot right now, and you saw him. He had better at bats. Like, you saw him that first at bat. He missed that 0-0 fastball. He's just missed that, and he was able to take a couple breaking balls. He knows the game plan. He knows the hard in, and then they threw 5 soft away. It's going slower, and it's so hard when you are trying to get that big, huge 450-foot home run. A line drive base hit to right field would be beneficial for him, but it's so hard in the moment, buddy.
How do you pitch to Freddie Freeman?
I stopped throwing cutters inside. I stopped throwing fastballs inside. I stopped playing the whole trick him inside. I would make him try to beat me away. I know there's a short porch in right field in Yankee Stadium. Freddie Freeman is so quick inside. And you know what? And I've always said this. I've said this all year. I think he's the best hitter in baseball. His approach is left center, not trying to hit a home run. Give me 60 doubles and 25 homers.
It feels like all of his home runs are off the same pitch, or at least in the same location.
Yeah, I mean, that's where he goes, right? Short and quick to the baseball, and he just snaps it. But he finishes high. He's got great drills. His approach I love. I have a high school kid that looks like him, like his torso goes up to his basically pecs. I mean, his legs go up to his pecs. Their torso is about that big. And it's funny because he sits gap to gap. And if you notice, most hitters don't do that. They're looking for 25 to 35 great swings a year, hitting 212, strike out 180, not Freddie Freeman. So I appreciate his game plan, even during the shift. Now we've stopped the shift. He's still a 300 hitter.
Kevin Millar, MLB Network analyst, co-host of Intentional Talk, and, of course, won the World Series with the Red Sox back in '04. All right, you got them to cowboy up back in '04. What's your pep talk to the Yankees pregame tonight?
The great news for the Yankees, about 7 days ago, Netflix came out with a show called The Comeback. I tell you right now, they're not a team that can't do it. Would it shock you? It's not an underdog-like team. They just need to start with a game tonight, or this could be a sweep.
What episode of the 4-part episodes with Netflix would you show to the Yankees prior to tonight's game?
Probably somewhere in episode 2. If I was, and I don't know if this happened or not, but I have Derek Jeter on site. I would have 2 or 3 dudes, whether it's whoever that is on your team. But if I'm Booney, I bring in DJ and I say, hey, dude, give me 5 minutes with these guys. Let's just play baseball. Let's play attention to details. We have to run the bases better. We have to play baseball better. We have to block balls, but we have to focus every pitch. One thing about Derek Jeter on the big stage, attention to details. It's like a Nick Saban football team. You're not going to have 47 holding calls or you're taken out of the game. My thing is just stay with me during the 7:08 start in Snake Time, 8:08 Eastern Time.
Okay. Is Jeter allowed to do that since he's working he's working the game? Do you think his bosses would have a problem if he
Why wouldn't you be able?
I
Thing is, I just
The
think that,
look isn't good.
well, no one knows. You don't have to know.
You're going to know after tonight's game if they win. They're going to be like, man, we got this great pep talk from Jeter. Captain came in and gave us a great pep talk here.
Are there any more secrets in this game anymore in this world society? Can we put our phones away? Do we have to text and tweet Instagram that I'm with the captain? No. Danny, I'm talking about with nobody knowing. I need you here for 5 minutes.
Wait. You were back in 04. There was no social media. Or we would have known everything about you guys doing shots before the game. We would have known about what was the naked pull-ups by Johnny Damon. We would have known all of that stuff.
That's why you got to have that boys club tight-knit group, and you can talk about it 20 years later. But my point is, I just think that the Yankees have to focus on attention to details. The home runs, they got to hit home runs. That's how they score runs. You can't beat somebody you're not. And you got to get on base. I mean, they just need the bottom of the lineup. Like Chaz, they have not hit with runner scoring position, so you can tip your hat to the Dodgers, or you can say that they're struggling.
The Otani situation, did you see anything that he was favoring his shoulder last night at the plate?
I saw his swings look good. You can tell, like, the swings and misses kind of hurt. The jogging hurts. He got to trot around the bases with Freddie Freeman's home run, which is good news. It was alarming after he grounded out when he ran back, and he was kind of like this. But I'll tell you right now, he's a tough guy. I mean, he wants to be out there. And just his presence, what do you see, 20-some-odd pitches last night? Whether he gets a hit or not, he's 3-2, he's 3-2, he's 3-2, and there's stress.
If the season ends tonight, how are we going to remember Otani this year?
Probably he'll have to do this for a while, but this is probably one of the greatest hitters that we're getting a chance to see. I'm not a big fan of saying, hey, he's had a year or two or three. They're superstars, because, I mean, the Pujols and the Manny Ramirez's and the Cabreras, like, they did it long 10-year, 30 and 100. But I'll tell you, I've never seen anything like it. His discipline at the plate, when he you see him lock in. He doesn't swing a whole lot of balls, and he's violent early in the count.
But if I said you can have Big Papi at the plate or Otani at the plate.
Wow. Big Papi was probably the greatest postseason big RBI guy in the history of baseball. My opinion, I'm taking Papi. That he was a gangster.
Great to talk to you, as always, and thanks for joining us.
You too, DP. Thank you.
Kevin Millar, MLB Network.